Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of the
Thunder Cross Split Cross Cast Cross.
The Cross, the Catholic Cross.
Yeah, Thunder Cross Split Cast.
The Catholic Cross Split Cast.
That one.
Yep, it's canon. Y'all should have read Steel Ball Run if you were listening to this.
So, are we doing another Jesus reference? Why every time we talk about Jesus, you got to bring it back to Part 7?
Is this not the perfect place to bring it up, though?
You're right. I guess I'll let you slide this one time, Kyle, because we are in a setting of Jojo friendly environment. You know.
Thank you. Usually he just whips me for bringing up Jesus. He says, "Not in my satanic household, not in my satanic Minecraft server."
Hey, he watches, man. Satan watches. He's like Santa.
He knows when you are sleeping.
He knows when you are sitting.
He knows when you're in the toilet for too long at work.
Dang, wait. That's relatable.
He's like, good.
Keep there. Keep wasting company money.
Unless he's a Republican.
Oh.
Do you think Satan's a Republican?
Oh, yeah. Honestly. I think all politicians are evil. So, yeah.
Yeah, including Funny Valentine. The 23rd president?
Something like that. I'd vote for him.
You'd vote for him?
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Dude, even after he did what he did, the Lucy steal?
That was so insane. He got a 90% approval rating from the population, even after he disappeared. That's insane. It's like when Bill Clinton got caught, what he did to that one woman, and he ended up
it's about what that one woman did to him.
Whatever. He
just he can't suck his own dick. I mean, maybe he can.
I couldn't suck my own dick.
No, they taught me on Epstein Island.
Well, it's like, God damn it, what was I going with that? It was like how Bill Clinton, he got caught with that what he did, and he still had like a higher approval rating than when he entered the office.
Hey man, don't matter. It has no bearing on his ability to run the country.
I did not have sexual relationship with my wife,
but I did save money by switching to Geico. You remember that LimeWire commercial? My fellow Americans.
Oh, no, I don't know that one.
Oh man, I was kind of a LimeWire kid. It was awful. I fucked my computer up, my family computer up so badly. I just of course I want Linkin Park in the end .exe.
That's not gonna be bad.
No, let's execute this executable.
What do you think? Man. What kind of stand do you think Bill Clinton would have?
Oh, it would definitely. He plays a saxophone, right?
Yeah,
so it would definitely be something to do with that.
That'd be funny if his stand is a saxophone. That means it'll look like he's like playing an invisible saxophone.
Yo, the stand is the saxophone.
The sunglasses are part of the stand too. So,
yeah. Oh man, what would its name be?
I don't. Old Unfaithful, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Or Careless Whisper, probably.
you know more music references than me, Kyle.
Let me tell you. You want to know? I'm going to tell you something funny about myself, real quick. One of my hobbies is writing character bots for people to chat with.
Oh my god,
character AI. Some people, I'll be in a Discord server for like one of these like offshoot sites that come up because people don't like to be censored on character AI. They like to be violent and
to their characters,
do NSFW stuff with their characters.
Hey, if no shame, just don't tell me.
And so somebody up there wanted a JoJo's bot they wanted the bot to be Hermes, Foo Fighters, and Jolene. And they wanted it to be a story, and they were like, "Can you make up a stand for yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And I got to thinking,
well, this is you.
This is my writing that I did.
So you're talking to Hermes bot, Fighters bot, and Jolene
Yeah,
bot?
but all in one bot. So you'll
Okay,
chat. It'll be like Jolene. Oh, hey, how's it going? And Hermes is like, who's this kid?
So when you talk to them, it plays out like a story?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like procedurally generated story. So the story is that you're like a 19-year-old kid who just like landed in Green Dolphin Street, and you have a stand. You're called Stand By Me, and the power is that anybody who like notices you wants to protect you.
Oh,
And so it's called Stand By Me.
So you're playing this character that has such a lame stand that makes fucking the Jolene
Yeah, well,
characters
they kind of wanted to be mommied by Jolene. That's kind of
the vibe. This person.
yeah.
Wait, so this is a bot that you found and you wanted
So,
to talk
so I'm
to?
part of a Discord server where people can request
Yeah.
bots because they don't want to make them. But I kind of like making them because you get the character profile, you list the likes, the dislikes, how like sample dialogue. I think it's fun to build these bots to have, to do whatever. And then once you're done with the character profile and like sample dialogue, people can that all gets plugged into a language learning model.
That's so scary.
Like AI, right? This is Chat GPT or whatever. You could go to Chat GPT and type in, "Hey, can we have a quick like safe for work role play session between I don't know, Oscar the Grouch and Pennywise?"
Yeah, you're not really selling me on this, but
Anyway, guys, how about we get into this new chapter of the Jojo lands? It's a new year, 2024.
this is the first new chapter of JoJo this year.
Yeah.
So it's been like a whole year.
This is
JoJo.
this is 1 year of JoJo lands.
Because when did it start? It started like last year, around this time, right?
It was January last year.
Wow.
We have 3 volumes worth of stuff, I'm pretty sure. Volume 2 of JoJo Lands came out like in November.
So the third one must be coming out soon.
Third one is probably coming out in like March. So Erik, before we get into the chapter, what is your impression? We've had JoJo Lands for 1 year.
It's all right. It's all right, honestly. I'm still kind of meh with it, to be honest with you, Kyle.
How would you compare this to the first 10 chapters of JoJolion, or maybe the first like 20 chapters of Steel Ball Run?
Pretty weak compared to the other ones. I was invested in a JoJolion like off the back, with how they introduced the characters. Not saying they did a poor job with these guys. It's just, I don't know. It just seems pretty generic to me right now. This whole JoJo arc seems like I've seen this in other JoJo fights. Everything seems like, all right, this happened in that part before. This kind of reminds me of that part. I mean, and the stands are. It's always been like that in JoJo. Like they'll always do like a fight that kind of like calls back to the other one. But I always just feel like it's either not that original or it's like, oh, I feel like I've seen this kind of fight before.
Sure.
And it's not bad because it's still JoJo. Like I said, I still love JoJo. It still has its JoJo charm and everything. It just doesn't latch me on like I did with the first couple chapters of Steel Ball Run, which was awesome, and JoJolion. I think a lot of JoJos have a better opening than this.
I could see that. I feel like the opening, the real like opening arc, it's not done yet either. We still like don't know a lot about what's going on. Like we're only just now fighting like an antagonist here in this chapter, in the past.
Those
chapter.
3 cats count as one antagonist, just
Yeah,
like the
but-
11 men count as one guy. They all
Okay.
share a stand, so they all count as one.
Fair enough. But what if they're 3 different cats that all have the same type of stand?
What's that? They
Those
have
3 cats have the same type of stand.
They all have the same
Like
stand.
Jotaro and Dio.
A shared stand.
The same type of stand.
It's no Jotaro.
each one of those-
Jotaro and Dio's does not have the same stand. They completely
It's the same
different.
type of stand.
Same type of stand. No,
That's what they
those are
said
the
in the
same.
manga.
Those are the same stand.
They're the same stand.
The cats have the same stand. Dio and Jotaro have similar stands to each other. A lot of stands are pretty similar to each other, but I think Jotaro's stand. Kyle, Dio stops time. Jotaro goes so fast that he can look like he's stopping time.
Is that confirmed?
Probably not. I think I read that somewhere, and and I want to believe. I'm pretty sure Araki said that. I could be wrong. It could have been fake news, but
fake news, Araki. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, so your impression of JoJo Lands is pretty whatever so far.
yeah,
and that's like based off of the story, the setting, the characters, the fights.
Yeah, it's the same kind of JoJo archetypes again. Like these characters, like got the silly one, and you got the girl, but that's Dragona. Then you got this guy who's like another Giorno. I feel like this was a copycat of Giorno, even though the two Josuke's seem vastly different. The two Johnnies seem vastly different. This guy's like, I still see him as Giorno.
He does give very heavy Giorno.
Yeah, because Johnny, I can see him as a different character and still see him like, oh, that's Jonathan, just a different version. Same with Gabby. That guy's Josuke, but with his own twist. This one's just like, okay, this one's still pretty Giorno-y.
This one's still Giorno. You know what's something that I've kind of felt about this is that usually, like, as JoJo goes on, the crew gets assembled one by one, and then like the big arc starts. But we kind of just have the crew here from the get go. I guess part 3 kind of has the crew from the get go.
Kind of. They were kind of introduced one by one. Part 5. This is just like part 5 where they just dropped a bunch of characters on you. But like back then, it was cool because like each one, like they had like this whole intro scene that kind of like just defined all of them, and like because remember when we got them sitting in the diner and they all have the interaction.
Yeah,
that pretty much defined them really, really well. Here we're just slowly being dripped like character traits to them, especially like Paco, character like Paco. I feel like
Paco's getting his time right now.
He's getting his time right now, yeah. And so is the Madasai, Chato Madasai guy. Usagi.
Yeah, I think everyone's getting a good spotlight on their character.
Who knows? It could get better.
I think it's so I'm going to take a second to say what I think of it. And I think that I think the setting is cool. Hawaii is awesome. I don't know if they're going to stay in Hawaii, because it's called the JoJo Lands. They might go to different lands.
That would be cool.
I think that would be very cool. Like in the end of part 8, they talked about how the Rokakaka has been growing in Papua New Guinea. That could be cool for them to travel somehow.
Yeah, as much as I love the Morio setting, I kind of want to see an adventure like outside one place.
I agree. I think Araki's cooking. I think like another year.
You've been saying that since chapter 3.
I think it's gonna take the fact that this comes out once a month and then like there's at least one break month a year is kind of like slows things down.
And I do tell people like it does take a couple volumes for you to probably get into a manga series. Like so maybe because they're on, like you said, the second one. The second volume just came out, and the third one's coming out soon. So, like I said, all right, I'll let him keep cooking for now.
He brought back Rohan. I think that was a kind of like, what the hell?
I don't like that.
Well, you're not like a big Rohan guy in the first place.
Well,
right?
it's not that I hate him. I like him. I like his character. Honestly, it's just that when you bring a character from the old time, like from the other universe, and bring them into this universe, I kind of like if they're a little bit different. Like here's Yoshikage Kira in the Steel Ball Run universe. Same character, same kind of characters, same name, but his face is different. He's not a bad guy, even though he's still a dick.
He's just like severely autistic,
and that's weird. What I like. But then here's Rohan, who's literally just copy and paste Rohan. Don't need to change what don't fix what's not broken, kind of thing. That's what I think. What Araki did with the Rohan here is like, oh, I'll just put Rohan there. You know what? Don't fix what's not broken. But I feel like I wanted to see a different Rohan take. Like even if it's just a different hairstyle, a different outfit, maybe a different kind of like stand look, I'll be fine with it. Even a different look, I would have been fine with. But this just seems like Rohan.
Well, and not everything has to be different.
But that's a thing. That's a me thing. Like if you're gonna have a different universe,
Look at
like
all the
have a
racers
different-
in Steel Ball Run. I mean,
those were just sides characters.
and
even then,
Stroheim was there.
Stroheim looks so different. Like I said, different outfit. His eyeball
Muhammad
was different.
Abdul on his
different looking
camel.
character, dude. It's like complete.
But it was him, obviously.
It's not him. That's a different version of him.
They even got Dio and Diego, and then alternate world Diego.
But Diego and Dio are so different characters. They still feel different. Mm-hmm. That's just Rohan. You just plucked Rohan and put it in there. That's just my thing. Like,
well, I think that a lot of Rohan's like he's written a ton of Rohan like chapters, just thus spoke Rohan.
And that's fine. If you're gonna copy paste them, at least
and
give
I
him a
think
different outfit.
that Rohan is also is the same Rohan
from the base universe.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, then there better be a good explanation on why he's around. I would have been fine. It would because it makes perfect sense that Giorno would be in this universe. Like when people say that, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But Rohan here, how does he here? So we don't know yet. So right now, I don't like him being here. If he just had a different hair, if he just had a different style, I would have been fine. Like he could have been the same character with a different outfit. I'm like, cool. That's alternate universe Rohan. That's sick. But no, it's the same kind of character, same stand ability. Well, I would have been fine with the same stand ability, but the stand still looks the same.
You know what I think?
What's up?
I think that we're just not going to see Rohan again.
That's also a possibility, just like they did with Koichi.
Yeah, that's true.
And like Araki does this a lot.
That's a nice parallel. It was Koichi in the beginning of Part 5. I always forget that he was there.
Yeah, but guess what? He was great.
He was great. He fought with Giorno.
That was good.
Yeah,
I'm glad he didn't stay around. I'm glad he only appeared in the beginning and then like went off and did his own thing. He went to Disneyland.
So, okay. I see that. What else do I enjoy about this? I think the characters are coming into themselves a little bit more now. Paco says some funny shit this chapter that we're gonna get into. I don't know. I was like a Part 8 apologist. Still kind of am. So like even when JoJo's bad, I still think it's good.
Yeah, that's me. Like I said, I know I'm ratting on this, but it's JoJo. I love JoJo, and it still has that JoJo feeling every now and then, which I go to, which is the reason why I come back to it all the time.
Yeah,
but I just wish it was Rohan just had a different style.
All right, you heard it here, Araki. Give that man a different style.
You're gonna bring
swimsuit Rohan wasn't enough for Erik. But anyway, I think we've spoken enough about it. Do you want to get into this chapter real quick?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So this is The Hustle Part 2. How many chapters of The Hustle?
I haven't even seen him use The Hustle in this chapter.
No, but he named the last chapter The Hustle Part 1, so guess what this is?
The Hustle Part 2.
Great danger reigns from above. It's Jodio, and he is using his November rain to rain on people. And then you get another advertisement. Don't forget the musical performance of Phantom Blood is coming soon.
That is so cool. I want to see that.
I know, man.
They should do an American tour.
I want HBO to make a Phantom Blood movie.
Do what Hamilton did. Just put the stage production on
Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Oh, but that's so sick, man. That's like that's probably like the only JoJo part you can probably properly adapt.
You could probably do battle tendency.
Kinda.
Scene changes and everything.
Kinda. I feel like the bad guys are too wacky with their powers.
But I mean, if Spider-Man turn off the lights can happen, I think you can do some Pillar Man stuff.
Maybe. The production value is going to be way higher.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into the chapter. It starts off with, last we saw Dragona, they got cut by this rat-looking dude.
You were crying. You were like in the studio. You were sad that she was going to die.
I was I can't believe it.
No, he wasn't.
But this is a cool use of their stand.
So they don't. I thought they were going to push the thing together and like put it together, like the cut together.
To seal the cut?
Yeah, seal the cut.
No, they're going to transfer the cut onto something else.
Yeah, they move the cut all the way to a bottle, so the bottle gets the damage.
Here, Clay, look at this.
I didn't get that up first.
Look at that. That's a stand, right? These little fellers right here. They're going to move that cut.
Since you don't have a stand, you won't see them, by the way, but you see that cut moving down her arm into the bottle.
Yeah. And then Usagi's like, "Aye, Dragonacha!"
This guy's a freak.
This guy is a freak.
But I ship it though.
Yeah, so Dragona successfully moves that and then is fine afterwards. Just kind of like how Giorno put a a Band-Aid on his cut
Oh yeah.
from last chapter.
So they're investigating, just trying to look around. They followed a blood trail.
Dude, you're skipping over this amazing part
Of what?
of Usagi
Simpin?
I finally came to understand this feeling welling up inside my chest. I realized I'm in love with you.
Fucking lame.
Thanks, but we siblings aren't particularly interested in that. More importantly, that guy swiped the lava.
So you're not, these people aren't interested in relationships is what Dragona is saying?
And interested in love, I guess.
Like the Joestars aren't?
I mean, there's no way because they keep showing up generation after generation. I mean,
Don't worry, there's probably going to be like another Giorno moment where they kind of combine two bloodstreams together. I don't know.
two bloody streams.
Oh, I get it. I know that. I get the song now. The bloody stream is their bloodline.
Ooh.
Aye. Oh, anyway, yeah. They follow the blood trail. They're doing a little bit of investigation. They fall into a parking lot.
Yep.
And Usagi's all like, guys, listen, we just need a metal detector. Just tell my stand ability that we need a metal detector, and it'll transform into a metal detector. And they're just ignoring him because they have better
they're like,
ideas.
Usagi, that's not how that's gonna work.
We have a better idea. Let's go around these blood trails to these people's cars because the blood trail go past people's cars. And they start intimidating these freaking passengers.
I know, this just like this like random
Like, hey,
dude.
You working for this guy?
What the hell? Who are you? And they're like, I don't think it's him. It reminds me of part 5 when they're sitting in Venice.
Yeah, they beat up that poor guy because, well, I know.
They're like, I think that's the enemy right there. You just beat the shit out of him.
they got what was that? They got wine all over him.
They did. Oh yeah. And so they kicked the shit out of him.
Well, they thought he was an enemy.
Yeah, and then these guys like, what the hell, man? I'm reporting this to the police. I don't think that's a throwaway line. Like, Araki, like, what I think is kind of fun is that in part 8, he kind of teased, like, normal civilians getting involved with this kind of stuff. Like, Josuke and Mamazuku got arrested. Right? Because they were shown, like, causing commotion by the hospital, and they were in jail.
For a while.
Yeah.
At least Mamasuke.
They also had, like, Jobin's Lamborghini up the tree. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But now in, like, this part, obviously the cops are a force that has to be reckoned with and that they have to, like, avoid. So I think that's interesting. But every time the cops show up, Jodio just, like, melts their faces and they just walk away.
It's that guy from the watch now. The guy who bought the watch earlier. Remember that guy?
Yeah, Leo.
That's his name?
Leo, yeah, that's his name. So they see this guy. He's like, whoa. He says, quote, "Don't go sticking your fingers in weird places on my ass, okay?"
Is calling his car an ass?
No, he's talking to his girl.
Oh, calling the girl
and she's
the
like,
ass.
"Oh dear, that was only because you hadn't put any sunscreen there."
So they find the murderer, and he's somehow bleeding into the car. Like he's morphed into the car, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not really that well explained because they just open it and you just see this guy kind of come out of it.
Well, Jodio opens the car door and has that rough feeling, like of the sediment, which is what Paco said. Is like that guy's skin was like sandpaper.
It's rock human.
So this guy's stand has to do with like fucking with your perception, which I think is pretty cool.
Wow. And
he's just hiding in things. And then he's revealed.
It kind of reminds me of Babyface fight.
Yeah. That's the one they were on the boat, right?
No, that was the one where it was Giorno with the little goblin that came out of that woman.
Oh, yeah. He's having this whole entire fight by himself
Yeah, because
like in like the parking lot while everybody else is like just talking.
Yeah, the way he hides is kind of similar to the babyface stand. How it kind of like breaks up into pieces and then like molds into it. I think how it works. Well, so they're fighting because this couple has no idea what a stand is. Okay, because they can't see stands. They're just thinking they're messing with their car.
Yeah, they're just breaking
with
their
the
car.
lady.
I think that's funny.
But then the watch that's very pricey starts moving off the couple and starts going into the ocean, giving them a hint that the guy who stole their lava rock is in the ocean.
Yeah,
which is kind of
because
bad.
the rock attracts wealthy things.
Yeah, so
things that you think are wealthy.
So Dragona uses the diamond that they have to locate where this guy is, which is kind of bad because Jojo's stand cannot work underwater. Like it can hit things above the water. It can hit the water surface, but the impact won't go into the water, basically. So I guess this is a good setup this is a good setup for a stand fight.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. How are they going to get out of this one? And Dragona pulls out the diamond. It's like, this will be a way you find them.
There's so much wide shots in this chapter. I mean, maybe I should go back and like read some One Piece, but I noticed like every chapter, every other page is like a big wide portrait of the scenery.
I like that. Araki's good at that stuff. I like what Giorno says here, or I'm sorry, Jodio. It might not be possible for us to find him now, but we can still corner him. We just need to get him to attack us. See, guess who said that to Dr. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Dubba?
What?
From part 8?
Doctor who?
Dr.
Wu. Dr. Wu.
No, not Dr. Wu, the head doctor. He was like, I have to make the head doctor attack me.
Toru?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because he couldn't pursue him. I'm just saying that's a little, he's thinking like a Joestar.
That is a Joestar way of thinking. Let them attack first.
Yeah, so they're talking a little bit, whatever. They're getting into the water. They talk about the rain.
Our boy Paco is all of a sudden laying down some fucking strategic talk right here. The guy who's so dumb he couldn't pass high school and he was pretty dumb the entire time. But that's pretty cool how how JoJo works is that once a character gets into a stand fight, they become a completely different character.
I like that.
But
yeah.
at least you know what I mean. They're still the same, but their way of thinking becomes a little bit different. And Paco is a perfect example of this. Remember in part 8 when like the dad and the little boy they don't know about each other's stands, but they're talking to each other like. They know one is working for the enemy team, but they're still talking to each other like, "Daddy, where do you babies come from?" Or something like that. "Daddy, are you a bad guy?" And he's all like, "Son, let me have this talk with you." But then like a stand fight happens, and all of a sudden, all that
you're talking about between Jobin and
Jobin and his kid. All of a sudden, they stop talking like dad and son, and start talking about like comrades in war, like. He's like, "Son, I need you to use your stand like this and that." He's like, "But Dad, but if I use my stand like that and this could happen." It's like, "I know, son, but like, what I'm saying? It's crazy how they talking can just like switch depending on the situation they're in."
Right. But that Jobin plot point just totally dissolved. It makes me so sad.
I know. Yeah, that was really. I don't know what Araki was thinking around that time.
He was thinking, "Gotta finish the manga." Okay, all right. So we're about a little halfway through the chapter now.
Yeah, so they're still fighting.
Usagi's trying to like convince Dragona not to like go through with this,
but she's a Joestar, so of course she's not going to run away, or at least not run away like a pussy.
Do you think maybe this Usagi right here is? You remember when Giorno, or why do you call him Giorno? When Jodio was talking to Paco, and it turned out that Paco was a fake.
Yeah.
It's like maybe he's a fake Usagi right here now too.
You think so?
No, I don't know. Well, he's really trying to like.
But the fake guy, the fake Paco ended up being that dust guy, right?
Yeah, I doubt it because like the fake dude shows up right, or the dust dude shows up right behind him, and they get into the water,
Well, it looks like he stabs Paco. He uses the water as a camouflage, stabs
Yep.
Paco, but Jodio uses the opportunity to swing that guy into the water, but not before calling out November Rains to like pelt this guy into the water.
Yep.
That looks, you know what? That's pretty sick.
And the guy's like, I was kind enough to give you a chance to give up on the lava rock.
Look at that.
Now die. Yep. So now they're on top of they're in the water. The November rain is dropping on the dude.
That hurts.
Well,
Well,
it looks like it fucking hurts.
punched the shit out of this guy and broke his knife,
Broke
but you
his
know, it
knife.
still can be pretty pointy.
So now they're underwater, but
It looks like Jodio purposely sunk. He then uses his stand to deflate a life raft to make it fall down in the water with him.
yeah, so that he can end up breathing. So he's trying to like drown him out, right?
Pretty much.
Because he's holding him in place, and if he goes up for air, he's gonna get got by his stand, and if he stays down, he's gonna end up drowning.
Hey, hold on. Why is Jonio's stand ability working when they're underwater? Doesn't water negate their stand abilities?
Yeah. Also on page 34, there's a really like thickly drawn Jodio's face in the bottom right hand corner.
What?
It almost looks like a different style. Like somebody
34?
else drew that. Page 34.
The outlines look more thick.
Yeah, right? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It just stands out. It looks like that was like made like digitally and everything else was.
Or maybe it looks like it was made by an
hand-drawn.
assistant.
Or made by an assistant. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I didn't really notice that at first.
But anyway, they're in that position, and meanwhile, the comrades up top are talking, and then all of a sudden, Paco's like, "You know what? Let's make this guy one of us."
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, right. It's like, you know what? He seems like he's a pretty good guy. Actually,
I have a thing for having a group of people that gets too cluttered. You know, like whenever there's like
Stardust Crusaders are like 6 people.
yeah, but I liked all those guys, and
Well,
I don't know. It's
you had time to get to know him.
well, I like them off the bat. Honestly, these guys, I'm not liking them off the bat. It's taking a little time. It's like when I'm reading Zom 100 and I'm like, wow, I like these characters. And I do like this one character, but now he's part of the crew and now there's just more people to focus on. And then they put another person in that group. And it's like, okay, that's more people to focus on. Not saying I don't like any of these characters, but I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like groups can get so cluttered and writers don't know when to take out a character.
Yeah, I don't know. This is coming out of like left field.
And I kind of felt that way with part 5 as well. Like when they just dropped like all those like 4 people into the group and then Trish as well. And it's like, this is feeling pretty cluttered. But again, I eventually did like, all right,
But
you know what?
go
They're
on a
all
road
pretty
trip
awesome.
together and bond, and then you're supposed to be bonding with them, and they've only this is still the first mission. You know?
Yes. So Paco wants this guy in
Yeah.
their crew, even defending him, saying, you know what? I don't even think those decapitated cat heads were even real.
That's right. He says the bag was just 3 potatoes in it. He was just trying to scare us. And he's like, that guy knows about the rock, so let's team up. Tell your brother not to drown him. And
All right.
You get this shot of Jodio, and he's like, Blair.
And then it ends with that bitchy couple breaking up with each other because they couldn't find the watch.
Well, and then there's a fisherman.
Yeah, he ends up getting the watch at the end.
Yeah.
So that might be the end of the whole watch thing right there.
And then the girl just leaves him. She's just like,
Yeah, you can't find my watch. I'm gonna leave you.
you know what? I think I'm catching a ride with somebody else. And he's like, what? No.
It's good hair.
And that's the chapter.
What
So
you think of it?
what do you think?
I don't know. What do you think of it?
Probably like it better than you liked it. That's how it's gone for every single chapter, except for maybe
Yeah.
the last one.
I mean, yeah, this is a better chapter than most. This is a good stand fight.
Mm-hmm. It's a good stand, but that continues. I don't know what the fuck Paco's talking about making him like part of the crew. Also, like the first couple chapters were narrated by Jodio, and he was talking about how like nothing could have prepared us what was going to happen that day, and this is still that day, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I just kind of want this to come out more than once a month. I feel like if Iraqi would put it out twice a month.
I don't think you could do that.
No, probably not. But,
I mean, I just think
the man's
maybe
almost getting close to 70. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. At least to me, there is some writing practices that, like, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of give or take because, like, how One Piece is, they do like those wide shots I tell you about, but I feel like Araki does it a little too often, and I feel like that might kind of hold him back on the storytelling because, like, instead of this big panel of like this ocean, like, which is nice, but we already seen this little area, but like you could like flesh it out the story a little bit instead of just making the whole page just this scene shot.
well, we already had we get like 50-page chapters. I think
and
there's
then,
room for everything.
Yeah, I guess. But you could make the fight a little bit less, cut it in half if you do the whole investigation a little bit better.
Yeah,
because I feel like the investigation goes on a little too many chapters. I mean, it could be an improvement, but
I think this is having the effect that Wano might have had. Reading it week to week, it was like really sucky. But going back, people like end up liking it more.
They say that no, it's still pretty bad.
Yeah,
no, I haven't finished it yet.
Wano. Oh, well, you know what? Clay's gonna get there in another week and a half. So,
who?
Clay. The most recent guest on the book club from Planet Zero.
Oh, you mean that's an alternate universe? That's alternate universe me.
That's alternate universe Eric. That's right.
Alternate universe Eric knows Clay of that universe.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the book club from Planet Zero is our sister podcast that's run by Erik and Christian. He was on this podcast before, and right now we got Clay in the studio. Say hi, Clay.
Hey, I'm still here. It's the same day. We're still recording. It's the same day.
You know that episode of Planet Zero with Clay in it? Well, guess what? This is the same day.
This is the same day. You set everything up. You do a couple podcasts. That's how it goes.
You told me we were getting Raising Cane's.
Yep, and now we have to go to get Raising Cane's, which is actually a JoJo's reference now. So.
Yeah, it's like the thing. Every time we do a JoJo reference, we got to get Raising Cane's. Just like when I read that one Magic Girl manga, they had Haagen-Dazs in it, like straight up, and I was like, man, I want me some Haagen-Dazs right now. Just straight up, like they're like logo and everything. And I was like, hell yeah.
All right, well, usually I think we'll talk about some other stuff, but I think we're gonna end it here. Because I think we need to get some Raising Cane's. Anything else? Oh, we're starting a One Piece podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, Erik, and Christian. And, if Clay's showing up, then maybe if he wants to start talking about One Piece like that.
It's called 3 Piece.
Yeah.
Or maybe 4 Piece. But we'll keep it 3 people mostly. That's great. I'm glad for that.
Well, anyway, we have one episode recorded in the bank that we recorded like last week. We're a chapter behind on that one, but I'm going to get that one out as soon as I kind of make a little intro theme for it, which is kind of harder than you think sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
JoJo is so JoJo, and Planet Zero is so sci-fi. And like, what is One Piece? Swashbuckly? I don't really like that. I don't like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Why? You don't like the whole soundtrack of One Piece is pretty freaking piratey.
The anime. Yeah, but then in the live action it's like
what?
That's not I don't know. Controversial take, not a big fan of all pirate media has to be like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean is literally the quintessential pirate movie. It's like, all right, well, I get what you mean.
The music's good from Pirates of the Caribbean.
You're right. Every pirate media shouldn't be like Pirates of the Caribbean, but Pirates of the Caribbean is freaking awesome as its own thing.
Like you make One Piece live action, and it's like, oh, you got to make sure those Americans hear the dun 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 dun, but make it distinct. I don't like the fact that it has to sound like that. Because that's a Disney invention.
Yeah, okay. I see
You know
that.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like pirates saying jigs and stuff, and it was closer to like Irish like folk tunes.
Yeah, the traditional pirate talk, if you guys doesn't know that, was started because of Disney. The whole yarg and like I and all that stuff because of that Treasure Island movie that came out like in the 60s, I think, or
The 50s,
50s.
something
Yeah,
like that.
and that started the whole pirate talk thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just
I hate how. Yeah, you're right. Disney is like this is just a product of Disney. Like it's not historical value. This is just a fantasy.
right, and all pirate stuff sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean now, and I'm like, I don't really like that. That's why I like One Piece so much. It's so like the music is so fantastical. God damn it, we got to go get Canes, guys.
Okay, we'll save this for the 3-piece cast.
We'll save this for the 3-piece cast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next month.
Thunder, Sweet Water!